Welcome to the class 7 students. Today in this video we will be starting with the topic of skeletal tissue. We have completed till connective tissue proper in my last video, and these are basically the different parts or different types of connective tissue. Now I have already said that connective tissue is that type of tissue that helps to connect different parts of the body or different organs of the body. Okay, now we have discussed about connective tissue proper and the different types of connective tissue proper, which are areolar tissue, ligament, tendon, adipose tissue, etc., out of which ligament and tendon are very important as separate 2 marks question. Okay, moving on to skeletal tissue, let's discuss what is skeletal tissue. Okay, so what is skeletal tissue? The skeleton of our body, which is made up of bones, forms the skeletal tissue. Okay, this is basically a solid connective tissue. As you all know, bones are very strong and solid, and this skeletal tissue is the solid connective tissue. This tissue mainly provides support to the body of vertebrates. It forms the endoskeleton or the internal skeleton of vertebrates. It is again of 2 types. First one is cartilage. So what is cartilage? You all know that our ears and the middle, this thing of our nose is made up of cartilage. Now what is cartilage? It is a very flexible type of skeleton. The other one is, you will find it is bone. So the skeletal tissue is of 2 types, cartilage and bone. The bone is the harder one and the cartilage is the softer one. Moving back to cartilage, it consists of a brown substance called matrix that contains cartilage cells. So it is basically made up of cartilage cells. It is basically made up of cartilage cells, which is the matrix of cartilage. And this tissue is highly elastic. As I said, that we can move our ears or move our nose. Okay, so it is highly elastic and less hard than the bones. Highly elastic and less hard than the bones. It helps in making the tissue flexible. Since it is highly elastic, it is flexible. It protects the bones from shocks. It occurs in the windpipe. So apart from being present in our ear and nose, it is present in the windpipe and at the end of bones of forelimbs and hind limbs. Okay, in the limbs it reduces the friction between bones when they move. The tip of your nose and external ear is also made up of cartilage. So if you are asked the question, where is cartilage found? You will say that it is found in the windpipe, in our windpipe. As you all know that windpipe is like a skeleton organ through which the air passes. Okay, so it is basically made up of cartilage, and cartilage is also present at the end of the bones of the forelimb and hind limbs. It is also present in the tip of your nose and the external ear. Those are the places where cartilage is found. Now what are the characteristics of cartilage? It is made up of cartilage cells, which forms the ground substance of cartilage. It is elastic and less hard than the bones, and thus it is flexible. So this is all about cartilage. Now moving on to bone. As I have already said, that bone is the harder type of skeleton. Okay, it is a hard tissue, harder than the cartilage. In this tissue, the ground substance or matrix is filled with cells called osteocytes. So here the ground substance was made up of cartilage cells, but here it is made up of osteocytes. These osteocytes are basically cells which make up the total bone. Okay. And various inorganic compounds also make the structure of bone. These make the bone strong and hard. The matrix is arranged in the form of concentric layers around the central canal. So suppose this is one central canal, and around this layers of the matrix is arranged in the form of concentric layers. Concentric layers means layers like this, one above the other. these are known as concentric layers, and this is the central canal. Okay, and this is known as Haversian canal. The central canal is known as Haversian. Can you see? Okay, it is known as Haversian canal. So this central canal, whose name is Haversian canal, around it layers of concentric circles are there, which make up the whole structure of bone. A long bone has a hollow cavity filled with bone marrow, which is richly supplied with blood vessels. Red blood cells and white blood cells are formed in the bone marrow. So you all know about bone marrow, right? A long bone has a hollow cavity filled with bone marrow. The hollow cavity is known as bone marrow, and this bone marrow is richly supplied with blood vessels. And what is the main function of bone marrow? RBC and WBC are formed inside the bone marrow. Okay, so this is all about cartilage and bone. The difference between cartilage and bone is also very important. You can write the points. First point, you will write that cartilage are made up of cartilage cells, bone is made up of osteocytes. Second point, you can write that it is much flexible and it is very hard and not flexible at all. Means bone is very hard and not flexible at all. Haversian canal is present inside the bone. No such structure is present inside the cartilage. Then you can write that where bones are found and where cartilages are found. These are the points that you can write as difference as points of difference between cartilage and bone. I will also provide this answer in the notes. Okay, cartilage and bone. Bones support the body and help in the movement of the body parts. So we are moving our hand, and that is only because of the bones that are present in our hand. Also there are muscles which help in the movement, but here the bones are the basic structure which help in the movement of these body parts. I hope this is clear to you all. Now with bone we are done with the skeletal tissue. Moving on to the last type of connective tissue. I will need to rub it here. The last type of connective tissue is fluid connective tissue. Means it is basically liquid. Unlike skeletal tissue, which was completely solid, a fluid connective tissue, that all the types of fluid connective tissue is basically liquid in nature. Okay, this type of tissue is again of two types. First one is blood, and next lymph. So first we will talk about blood. It consists of a straw-colored fluid matrix called plasma. So we all know that blood is made up of plasma, which is the matrix part of the blood, and then there are blood cells. Different blood cells are there, and this plasma is the matrix or the ground substance of the blood. So plasma, which is in which three types of cells are present. So plasma is straw-colored, means straw-colored, and it consists of different types of blood cells. One is RBC, which is red blood cell or also known as erythrocyte. Next one is WBC, which is the white blood cell and also known as leukocytes. And the third one is platelets. So these are the different types of cells which are found inside the blood, and thus blood is basically made up of two different components, which is one is straw-colored part of the blood, which is plasma, which makes the ground substance of the blood, and then there are the blood cells which are present inside the plasma. RBC or red blood cell or erythrocyte, WBC or white blood cell or leukocyte, and lastly platelets, or the other name is thrombocyte. So these are the different components of blood. Moving on to now we will also know about the types of means the details of this RBC or erythrocytes. These are the most abundant component of the blood. These carry oxygen and carbon dioxide to and from various parts of the body to the lungs. Red blood cells are produced inside the bone marrow. So basically we know that they are known as red blood cells and RBC and erythrocytes, but what is their function? Their function is to carry oxygen and carbon dioxide to and from different parts of the organs of the body to the lungs. Okay, and they are produced inside the bone marrow, which we have already talked about, that RBC and WBC are formed inside the bone marrow. Moving on to WBC or leukocytes, these provide protection from foreign bodies. Now, what is the function of WBC? They help in the production of antibodies in our body. I hope you know what antibodies are. Basically, these are the soldiers of our body which protect our body from different types of diseases, and those antibodies are produced by WBC. And lastly, the blood platelets, they help in the clotting of blood. So I hope you have heard about blood clotting. When we get a cut or injury, the blood starts to come out, but after some time a clot or a tissue type substance is formed, which is known as blood clot, and that blood clot formation is basically done by the basic components of what forms blood clot is platelets or thrombocytes. So these are the basic functions of the different blood cells. Okay, moving on to lymph, it can be called blood without the red blood cells. So basically lymph is also blood but without RBC. That means lymph also consists of WBC. It surrounds the body cells. It plays a very important role in protecting the body against infection. So whatever function the WBC does, basically lymph does that. It helps in protecting our body. Thus WBC is present inside lymph also. So this is all about the different fluid connective tissue. The main fluids of our body, the main fluid connective tissues of our body are blood and lymph. Blood is made up of plasma and different blood cells, which are RBC, WBC and platelets. And then there is the lymph, whose main function is to protect our body against any kind of infection or foreign bodies. Now we are almost at the end of our chapter. Here the last topic is the difference between plant tissues and animal tissues. Now, since we have not yet covered the first chapter, plant tissues, we will not go into this topic right now, because you can only understand this topic when we have studied about plant tissues. Correct? So, all the details about animal tissue is over in this chapter. But when we are done with the other chapter, plant tissues, which is basically chapter 1 in your book, we will again come to the end of this chapter and discuss the differences between plant tissues and animal tissues. Then we will learn this difference. For now, animal tissues, this chapter is over. I hope you have understood this chapter. I will provide notes along with these videos, and I want you to write down all the notes properly in your copy so that I can check them in timely manner. Okay, thank you.